You ready? Yeah, you got me running, you got me running, got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Raise your hands up, raise them up.
All right, happy Monday, everyone, or it might be Sunday evening. I think Gary is on the call, so welcome to our viewers who are very much international, and I hope everyone had a great weekend as well. So it is 11 a.m., guys. This is the currency call, GMT +8 time zone, and just a quick introduction as well. So if you are new and you are watching this on YouTube a little bit later, we do air this call live at 11 a.m. GMT +8 to our LCMS Trading Club members. And the link is in the video itself with the Jindal Thai website as well. So make sure that you do click on that and you do get signed up, because we've really been hitting a nice level of activity. We've got a whole lot going on. Oh, sorry about that, everyone. Let me go back to the share. And we do have a lot going on in the LCMS Traders Club as well.
You're sharing your video player.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
All right. So just to get things started, guys, quick introduction. So we do the currency call every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. GMT +8. And the currencies we analyze are as follows. So Mondays, we do Aussie and Kiwi. Tuesdays, we do the Euro pairs. Wednesday, we do pound. Thursday, yen and gold, and then on Friday, we do CAD and cryptocurrency as well. And we also, in the LCMS Traders Club, we make sure to share the trade ideas as well in the respective discussion threads as well. And we've been obviously very active recently. It's been fantastic to see. Also, if you are a regular member, you'll notice the background there, and it is updated for the end of the November trading month, which was the 20th it ended on, and we were up just over 5%. I was corrected, 5.04%. We're at over 106% in 38 months, and we're over 23% for the year so far as well, with no negative months. So definitely get invested, forexbriefcase.com, and Steve and myself are here to help in the LCMS Traders Club as well to get you signed up as well. So I've got the US dollar chart up as well. Let's start into it, because there is a little bit to talk about as well. Now, again, the market was sort of full of surprises. Friday, honestly, was, not particularly active, but if you were around, you would have seen this US dollar strength that did come in, and we moved over 96. We got to 96.23 as well. And on the weekend, there was some chatter from FOMC member Clarita about bringing some discussions forward on increasing the quantitative easing decrease. So they want to start easing that quicker, because what's been seen is that if you are following things, and I shared a tweet from someone that I follow in regards to the inflation, and you can see in the US that it's at 6.2% now, and it's really quite globally compared to the other developing countries. And of course, there's Venezuela and things like that that are a bit of outliers, but things are well and truly a bit heated, and they're going to have to do something. And, FOMC member Clarita was just discussing that now is probably the time really to really start easing back on this money printing, because things have, got way out of control. But we have seen the US dollar open stronger as well. And you're probably thinking, what's going on here? And if you haven't checked it out already, and I'll share this in the chat too, Jin did talk about the race to 100 as well. So there are polarizing commentary in regards to where this US dollar is going to go. I mean, if we go to the weekly time frame, you can see that it, wasn't really all that long ago. It feels like a long time ago when COVID first hit and things like that. But this 96 and it clears. Now, obviously, there's going to be more, headwinds between now to 100. But we've really got to start taking note of the FOMC, the next meeting in December as well. And on Wednesday, we've got GDP out too. I just want to quickly go to the news now as well, just to see what's going on today, and then just some key points as well in regards to what to look out for with the US news in particular. So pretty easygoing start to the week as well. We do have existing home sales out for October at 6.2 million. So a little bit of a decrease. Again, though, it does have a high impact reading here, but, you know, there's really, I would say that that's, you know, not going to be a significant thing at all. And then for tomorrow, it's a little bit going on. We've got manufacturing PMIs out. If you have a look at the services PMIs in manufacturing, we do expect increases. Now, anything, you know, at this point is really quite dramatic. So again, demand is still there and we have a lot of supply issues, and that's not going away. And then one final point, I mentioned this in my article that I wrote this morning, and we do have a lot of news coming out Wednesday night at 9:30. That's GMT +8, and it's chock-a-block. So I think we do have the Wednesday night call. So we'll see what happens in the lead up to that in regards to trading opportunities. But we do the Wednesday night call, guys, as well. So it's another reason to get in and become a member of the LCMS Traders Club. But in conclusion, I would say that it's just going to be tough to pull this dollar back. You know, there's going to be pullbacks, obviously, but really it's hard to see how the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell is going to actually say transitory again and again. And I think we're going to see some more easing, and then the dollar is going to really start moving a little bit higher still. That's my thought process. But yeah, buying opportunities with dips on the US dollar index. But I'll just quickly scan. We do have a bit of activity in the chat as well. No questions. Exactly, Paul. Time to top up. That's exactly right. That's a smart call. But we do have the Aussie and Kiwi now, and we've got Jin and we've got Gimme as well, discussing the situation with the Kiwi, but we have Aussie as well. So over to you now, Jin.
So I think what we'll do is a bit of a tag team here between me and Gimme there. Thanks for that, Scott. So today being Monday, brand new week, towards the end of November, also towards the end of the year. Quite a few things happening. We've seen the markets move quite significantly now. I think that we are, usually we would expect for a quieter December, right? Usually markets are quieter in December, but it looks like with the recent trend, we might see that continued volatility through December and peaking into early next year as well. So stay tuned, watch out for that. First off, looking at the news here on forextradingasia.com, looking at the economic calendar. Today being Monday, Scott has already showed you, not a lot of things happening for Monday. For the rest of the day, we do see some news, but probably not going to see big price movements. I think that today will be a bit of a consolidation day before we lead into the week ahead. What's in store for the week ahead? Tuesday, we do have retail sales number coming from New Zealand, looking like it might be quite good news coming from New Zealand in terms of the retail sales number. Previously at a 3.3%. I will kick back to give me a bit later on that on the New Zealand dollar. We do see a lot of news here for the Eurozone and the UK, talking about PMI being released, PMI numbers for the Eurozone and the UK, manufacturing and services PMI. I think these will have quite good impact for this time round, as we see whether the PMI numbers is going to influence possible future rate decisions or QE decisions there. Wednesday, pay attention to what could happen on Wednesday morning. Early Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. GMT +8, RBNZ interest rate decision, looking to go from a 0.5% to a 0.75%. We are possibly looking at that increase in interest rates from the RBNZ. At this point, Kim Hong, do you have anything to add? What's your first thoughts on this interest rate decision?
Expect a rate hike. That's for sure. Okay, now the question is whether the RBNZ will be hiking by a 0.25% or a 0.5%. All right, so I'll be covering more on this. Why would they be hiking? Why would they look for a 0.5% hike tomorrow instead of 0.25% hike?
He's fishing you to make sure you come back tomorrow. But if I were to force you to tell us, what do you think? Do you think it's 0.25 or 0.5? Just give me a number.
Okay, so tough to get to choose either one of them. I will go for 0.5. I will go for 0.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He did tell me, Kim Hong did tell me before the call, don't probe him too much about the RBNZ. So I've just decided that I will probe him more about the RBNZ. Why do you think a 0.5 instead of a 0.25?
It's for reasons that I am supposed to tell you guys tomorrow. But okay, just give you guys a hint, all right? It's due to recent releases of economic data coming from New Zealand. That's the hint.
Good stuff. All right, so we are looking at the RBNZ increasing either a 0.25 or a 0.5% increase interest rates on Wednesday morning. I will tell you, it really doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a big difference whether it's 0.25 or 0.5. But the reason behind that is actually more important of whether they've increased it by 0.25 or by 0.5. So make sure you tune back in and find out the reasons behind the possible decisions. Okay, I'll show you what we could be expecting on the charts for that as well. Rates decision, rate statement to follow on Wednesday morning. Again, we have a lot of US news on Wednesday. GDP numbers for the US quarter on quarter looking to go from a 2 to a 2.1, a slight increase in terms of GDP there. And then also we're looking at consumer sentiment for the US, looking at a slight increase again. So it looks like good news coming from the US again, possibly with further US dollar strength, possibly for that push towards 100 on the DXY. With that, on Thursday, look out for that. Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving dinner, all the turkeys are ready, but we do have the FOMC meeting minutes to be released early Thursday morning. I don't think that this will move prices too much, also because, one, Thanksgiving, two, it is meeting minutes giving you a bit of a more info about what happened during the FOMC meeting previously. So usually not big impact in terms of prices there. And then on Friday, we have again a whole bunch of news, but not likely to be big price movers. One thing I'll pay attention to on Friday morning is the retail sales number for Australia, looking to go from a 1.3 to a 2.5%. So looking at the big jump up from that point. Scott and Steve has been shopping and Paul has been shopping in Australia. That's why we've seen that retail sales number jump. Putting all that data into what it could mean on the charts, here looking at the first Aussie dollar, it is sitting, right? The last time we spoke about this, I said it was going to come up, test a little bit before breaking down towards the 7233. It's done that exactly. At this point right now, I think that we might see it, look at it. I think we might see it sit at this support level at 7233 before looking like it's going to break downwards, before looking like it's going to break upwards. But I think later into the week or into the midweek, what we could see is the Aussie dollar head upwards to test the 7322 resistance level again. Why I say that? It's going to be because of that retail sales number coming from Australia is going to be possibly dragged up by the RBNZ interest rate decision, right? The correlation between Australia and New Zealand dollar, we could see, if we see the New Zealand dollar being pushed upwards, we could see that drag the Aussie dollar along. So what you could be looking for at this point is, this is a counter trend trade. For the past 1, 2, 3 weeks, it has dropped about almost 300 pips. What we could be looking for now is at the 7250 level, a 30 pip stop loss for a good 60 pip take profit level, a 1:2 risk reward ratio up towards the 7322 resistance level. Counter trend, so you want to manage this closely, you want to watch this trade. If it does get pushed up, it's going to be likely because of the data release. Alternatively, if it does break lower, we could see it head towards the 7120, but I think that if I zoomed out into the weekly time frame, 7210 was last visited in 2021, August 15, so quite a couple of months ago. So I can look at it on the daily time frame. We can see at that level there, okay, at that level there, it touched 7120 before shooting straight back up again. It could break down, it could come as low as 7176 before turning back up. I would at this point be very careful in between these gaps because we see it as a very low point. We're going to see a lot of volatility, possibly a quick bounce up if it does break below this region. So what I'll be looking for is possibly that track upwards instead as a safer counter trend trade. With that said about the Aussie dollar, looking at the New Zealand dollar, same thing, tested that 7073. We saw it test early into the week, last week, and then we saw it track down towards 6967. At this point, I think that it's going to come possibly track lower, right? I think and hope that it's possibly going to track lower as we see it trend accordingly. And then with the rate decision, whether it is going to be a 0.25 or a 0.5, if you're optimistic like Kim Hong there, possibly a 0.5. If you're a little bit more conservative, I think a 0.25. What we could be looking for here is that move towards the upside, bouncing off that 6967 support level. You could be looking for about 6980, a 20-30 pip stop loss for a good 80 pip take profit level, or 80 to 100 pip take profit. You're looking at a very good risk reward ratio back up towards the 7073 resistance. At this point, Gimmo, what do you think? Do you think it's going to hit that support and bounce the 100 pips upwards?
Well, if it's a 0.5% hike in interest rate, possibly.
What if it's a 0.25?
Oh my goodness. Then the strengthening will probably be just a brief one. Unlikely it's going to move like past half of the, the region that you have over there.
So it's possibly going to come up to about 7027.
Yeah, if it's a 0.25% hike.
Okay. So at this point, remember, it is not just about that number. You need to know the reasons behind why they're hiking a 0.25 or a 0.5. It could very well be they hike it. Pay attention to the rate statements. Pay attention to possibly even the press conference. They could say we're hiking now and we'll never hike again after that. Unlikely. Or they might give a timeline of how or when they're going to hike rates further. So that's going to give legs towards how high the New Zealand dollar can go, especially on the H4 time frame. Whether it's going to hit 7073, whether it's going to breach 7073 towards 7146. Pay attention to that on the New Zealand dollar. With a big news coming up, I think this will have that good trading opportunity there. With that said, I'll pass it back to you, Scott.
All right, thanks for that, Jin and Gimme as well. And guys, I have shared the trade ideas in the Aussie and Kiwi section as well. We also have a little bit of information as well for anyone that's been following the Evergrande situation. We do have some calendar information on the bond repayment schedule as well. So it's been a bit of a continuing saga too. But surprisingly, we are seeing a bit of a bounce in the iron ore price as well. But additionally, guys, just make sure you do watch the replay too. We do share the timestamps of the currency call as well to the LCMS Trading Club members as soon as it is released. So, it allows you to get a little bit more insights as well. Instead of just sort of following the trade ideas, I would strongly recommend you do a little bit more research as well. Gimme has his hand up as well, so I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah. So, okay, before we actually end this call, yes, although Thursday and Friday is Thanksgiving over at the US, we may expect lower volatility in terms of trading and volume in the market. Okay. But, okay, I'm not sure how many of you actually know about this. US President Biden, okay, he's probably going to, decide on who will be the next Fed chairman. Okay, will it still be Jerome Powell, or will it be what's the woman's name? I couldn't remember the woman's name for the moment. Okay, the other person. All right. So what's so big deal about this whole thing? Okay, so the thing is, if Jerome Powell, okay, were to be chosen, then fine, everything goes on, the market continues trading as usual. Okay. However, Brainard, yeah, that's the name. However, if Brainard were to be elected, okay, as the new Fed chairman, okay, expect movements in the market, okay, because Brainard is supposedly the dove of FOMC. Okay, she's more of a dovish member. So we all know that, Jerome Powell is already quite dovish, okay, with all the reluctance to taper QE, to hike interest rates, trying to, keep the market off, all the hints that the central bank is providing in terms of monetary policy tightening and things like that. Okay, guess what? Brainard is more dovish than Powell. Okay, so if let's say Joe Biden is going to announce that Brainard is the new Fed chairman, okay, the new upcoming chairman of FOMC, then we may actually be seeing a lot of movements in the US dollar. Okay, because being dovish means that it's more likely that the hike in interest rates, okay, the timeline for interest rates hike will be pushed back further. Okay, right now, the market is actually expecting interest rates hike coming from the FOMC as early as mid of 2022. Okay, now if Brainard were to take over as the new Fed chairman, then I guess the whole market is likely going to just expect, going to push back the timeline. Okay, instead of mid 2022, they may actually push it back to, I don't know, the third or fourth quarter of 2022. Okay, so yeah, just keep a lookout for the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, to see if anything comes out from Joe Biden. Okay, another thing to take note is that last Friday, okay, if you guys actually traded in the afternoon, GMT plus 8, okay, you guys probably see a lot of sell-off. Okay, it's pretty much a textbook example of a a shift in sentiment, okay, towards safe haven currencies. Okay, because there has been a couple of news coming out from Eurozone saying that some of the countries may actually go back to lockdown, okay, with the worsening condition of the COVID situation in Eurozone. Okay, hence we see a strong sell-off in risky currencies. And the demand of US dollar, Swiss francs, and Japanese yen have increased. Okay, so yes, no doubt this week is going to be a short trading week over in the States. But these 3 days, just keep your trades short term, because there may actually be volatility. Okay, and with volatility comes opportunities. So yeah, for you guys who wants to end the month with a bang, yeah, these 3 days will be a good opportunity. All right, back to you, Scott.
Sorry, I'll jump in there as well. We're all putting hands up, right? What was I going to say? Several things. Even with the new Fed chair, just something to pay attention to, even with the new Fed chair being released or announced, don't expect a big price move immediately. So I've sat through a couple of changes in Fed chair. I've seen Bernanke change to Yellen. I've seen Yellen change to Powell. All that is likely to you're not going to see a big change immediately. You'll possibly see that change only at the FOMC meetings or release of their press conference and their statements. So don't jump into any trades just because it's a new Fed chair. All right. And remember, tonight we do have Traders Club members. We do have the coaching session tonight, 8 p.m. GMT plus 8. So make sure you jump onto that. We will be putting up the links on the club platform. I'll be guiding you through some of your trades, looking for some trade reviews. If you have any questions, put it up and we'll get it answered throughout the session. With that, I'll pass it back to you, Scott.
All right, thanks for that, Jin. And just in the meantime, I have shared the link for forexbriefcase.com for anyone that is not invested with the managed account service as well. And I've shared the weekly market update is something that is done every Monday morning, and it just reviews the key economic events from last week, and it's something really valuable. So make sure you check that out as well. That has been shared in the LCMS Traders Club, and I've got it in the chat here as well. I'll share it again in the trading floor just to make sure everyone's got it. And I also shared the DXY article by Jin as well. So make sure you check that out as well. And that's right, Gimmy's going to get on the phone to Biden and we'll work that out in run. So he's got a special phone, so don't worry about that. We'll get that sorted for you. But thanks guys for watching and hope to see everyone tonight as well. Bye everyone.